What's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be installing this massive wastegate on my Mustang because I'm overboosting really bad. So I'm going to show you what you need to do on your On3 turbo system so you don't overboost like I did. Alright, let's get right into it. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I've been having a really bad overboosting problem. I haven't been able to talk about it yet, but I'm going to show you a data log right here where you can see boost starts at 7 pounds and then it creeps up to 14 and then boost cut kicks in, saving my butt. So with the new mufflers, it ended up there was less back pressure and I started overboosting. The On3 Performance 44mm wastegate wasn't able to keep up, and anybody that's making big power with their turbo Foxbody is gonna have to upgrade that 44mm because it's just not quite enough, as well as that On3 crossover and the placement of that gate is not very good. I had to put it in a turbo Foxbody forum and everybody ripped on it how bad it was and how bad the placement was. So we're going to be changing the placement as well as the wastegate. So this is the unit that I'm going to be replacing that old On3 gate with. This is a VS Racing 60mm unit. So it's very affordable. It's only 150 bucks. We'll see if it actually can take the abuse, but I wasn't going to pay $500 for a wastegate from Precision. I'm poor. I can't afford that. So this is what we're going to be using, and we'll see if it actually solves my problem. So this is what VS Racing sends you when you do buy their giant wastegate. So you get a 60mm V-band, you get a fire ring, and then I don't know what the size, but it's what the V-band that clamps onto there so you can shoot fire. Not at important stuff, you can actually get around that. And then 2 V-band clamps, and then the hardware and some little barbs. So that's what I got to work with right now. Okay, so let's get this crossover pipe out and start cutting and grinding. So, it's cut. So here is the crossover. And so let me complain a second so you can know why this crossover is bad. So it sits on the car like this, and this feeds into the turbo. What's happening is when the exhaust comes up and through here, it's not easily able to flow out of this wastegate area. It's not positioned good at all. And the other bad part of it is it's only wasting the passenger or the driver's side. Like the turbo's up here and the other header is up here. It's not wasting any of that exhaust gas. It's only wasting the passenger side. So those are the two complaints with it, and so we're going to take this and we're going to try to put it closer to this elbow so when the exhaust comes up it'll actually hit that and do a better job of wasting the exhaust so we can not hit 14 psi when we're shooting for 7. So I gotta take this exhaust strap off. I'm not very happy about that, but you know, it is what it is. Here we are. So now that both wastegates are off, you can see the difference in size. So yeah, definitely should be able to waste enough exhaust gas out now. Alright, so this is the point that we've gotten to so far. So what I ended up doing is, you remember where the old flange was, so I just cut a rectangular hole out of it, and now we're going to patch it, cut a little piece out, and so now I'm just going to weld it in there, and the pipe will just be like it's brand new pipe again. So this has to be one of the slowest projects ever, and it doesn't seem like I'm doing a whole lot either. So, you know, so I got this guy welded up, not pretty, just grinded it down, I just wanted it smooth so my little flange can go up and down. So after that I started working on the flange, yeah, I started working on the flange where the wastegate can sit, and so I got this. So this is gonna sit like this. So now, when the air is coming through, it'll go to the wastegate, and not up there. So it actually is in a better location, so it can actually waste the air. Now, I gotta cut into my crossover again. Man, it's been all day, and I feel like I've just been grinding and grinding and grinding. There's been nothing fun to watch. So that's why you're just getting an update, and it's been like 5 hours. Okay, now that I got everything drilled out, cleaned up, and ready to weld all together, let me go into detail on how I did this and what I did to actually relocate it, because I was light on details. All right, so let's start with this little piece that the flange mounts on. So this was the hardest part. And so what I did is I got my pipe from O'Reilly's. This is 2.5 inch inside diameter piping, or no, I take about outside diameter piping. And it's 16 gauge. The original On3 stuff is 14 gauge, but I figured just for this, it's gonna be okay. So, but I cut it out at 45, and I got something like this. So after I got this, I started notching out the top more and rounding it out more and more until I actually got this that could set on the elbow. And so I had to notch out the top real far, and I ended up having to notch out the bottom just a touch too, and I kept doing it until it fit on the elbow correctly. So then for the elbow and the hole that I cut, all I did was mark it out and then use that drill bit with the hole saw, the hole bit that you saw, and punched a hole and then grinded it out, and that's where I am now. So surprisingly enough, this came out pretty good. So I'll clean it up, and actually the welds won't look so bad. So let's weld this to the actual crossover and call it a day, because it's been an hour. Alright, so it is put together now. Welds are not as nice as my V-band, but whatever. So, I made a crucial mistake. Don't make this mistake if you're doing it at home. Ball and socket fitting. Don't go there. It goes on the other side. And you know, usually the wastegate prevents it from going back and forth. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in 2 places and then weld it back together down here. Easy fix. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. And voila! It's like nothing ever happened. All fixed up and ready to go. So, I'm going to clean this thing up. Not tonight, later on. We're going to finish this some other time. And then paint it with some high heat and then rewrap it. And that should be good. But yeah, and then we'll put the wastegate on, give it a test rip, and see what happens. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result, so there you go. We'll continue this another time. I flashed myself too, first time, hurt my eyeballs, real bad. So here's the pipe, all painted up with high heat black now. Nothing too crazy about it. So I have the VS Racing wastegate apart. All it is just a couple Allen key screws on the top of it, and it comes off. So it comes pre-installed with a 4.6 and a 6.4 wastegate spring, which is, I don't know why they did that, but it's kind of confusing. So I don't know which is which. I'm guessing this is the 6.4 and that's the 4.6, since this is the thick boy. We are taking it out because, you know, together that's like 11-pound spring. I don't want that. So we're just going to leave the 6.4 spring in there and put it back together, because if it's at 6-7 pounds, that's exactly where I want it to be at right now, and then I can control from there. So I got my leak down tester, and it's hooked up in some redneck way to the wastegate. So if we look at here, I'm trying to get this in the video. I'm going to crank it up, and you can see right at about 7 pounds is when this thing opens up, meaning it's the 6.4 pound spring. So let's see if I can get a good video. We're at 5. We should start to see the gate crack in a second. Yeah, you can see it just starting to move. So it's like right at the 7 pound or 7 psi, and it cracked a little bit before. So this is the 6.4 pound spring. So that's what we're going to be leaving in here, and it should work pretty good. Just wanted to verify it before I put it all together and had a 20-pound spring in there. So here's the crossover all wrapped up, and got the wastegate with the fire ring installed. So we're all good to go now. I put the little fittings in here, so I'm just gonna put it on the car and see how it fits. I mean, I kind of already test fit it, so I know it's gonna be okay, but yeah, here it is, and it's all its glory. All right, and there is the finished product on the car with the vacuum lines on it. So you can see, let me tell you if I was doing it again, how I had done it. So you can kind of see that this thing is slanted down, and I want it slanted up. So if I would have done this right, my pipe would have actually, I'd have moved it up, and I'd probably have double checked this another time to make sure it wasn't pointing down and it was pointing more up. So just a little tidbit, it's gonna be fine. It just looks a little ugly. You know, you gotta start somewhere. So this car, yeah, I'm learning. So that would be what I would change, but otherwise it fits good. All right, so just want to show you my dump tube before I installed it because I'm kind of proud of it. So we're gonna put this on, take it for a ride. So it's just a basic dump tube, nothing special about it. Yeah, I just didn't want to hit the steering rack and spit flames at my steering rack and melt some stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. Just dump all that waste right on the ground and not on my steering rack. All right, so here's an update because I had the GoPro on and it died and I lost the footage, so whatever. But so I drove it with the new gate and it works too good. I got on it and I'm expecting, like, you know, 6 pounds because I got a 6 pound spring in there and I'm ready, and it goes 1.8 pounds of boost. So it hit 2 pounds of boost and I turned it up all the way to 50% duty cycle and I hit 5 pounds. So that's 50% duty cycle. That's just not enough beans. I mean, if I want to get this car up to like 15 pounds of boost, that's not gonna be quite enough. So we're gonna throw the 4.6 pound spring in there with the 6.4 and see if we can get a little bit more boost right off the bat. Yeah, I noticed it doesn't spool as fast obviously if the gate's open and super fast. So, yeah, just thought I would share that. And if it doesn't work out, we'll get the 12 pound spring, start with that, and then add maybe a 4 pound spring to that and just see, we'll make it work. It's not rocket science, but it's not a calculation that I can figure out in my head either. So let's just get this thing off and see what we can do. Spring in here, and we're still only getting the 4 pounds of boost on just gate pressure or spring pressure. It's just wasting so much. But yeah, that's the fix. It works, I guess, if you wanted to know. So I'm gonna turn it up because it's only hitting 4 pounds right now. I'm gonna put like 20% duty cycle, see if I can get to like somewhere in the 7-8 pound range, and hopefully that's good. It works. It works too good. Not over boosting. I'd rather under boost than over boost. So there you go. Problem solved. All right, and that's how I successfully relocated my wastegate, and hopefully it can help you too. On the negative side of all of this, my Spartan 2 wideband controller pooped out on me. So that was just annoying. But the car is boosting. It's hitting with the 11 pound spring, hitting about 4 or 5 PSI. So if you want to see more how-to videos about my Turbo Foxbody Mustang, and maybe it can help you, click that box up there. And I hope you found some value in this video, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.